right, I guess I'm live now, so it feels good, being home. I'm about to get back on the road, so right now I'm closing a few loose ends, and I want to kind of talk about some things. So, a lot of the stuff I'm showing you guys through old publications, most of the time I don't even have that stuff. I got so many publications. I probably got 15, 20 G's worth of publications. But when it comes down to this like so-called debt discharge, you have to understand, if you can't, hey, how's it going? Good grief. What most people are not understanding is how simple a lot of this is. If you have to understand that if the bank is not agreeing with you, it's not their job to agree with you. It's their job to conduct business. So if you have a 9 to 5, you have to understand, like, when you punch in, your employer is not legally bound to pay you a living wage. It's your job as an adult to make a living wage. What's up to you? So a lot of you guys, when it comes down to making claims on accounts, that's why I showed you that the documents. But for some people, I've been kind of, I'm still working on the stuff that I told you I'm working on. What's going on? It's just Diaz. Still working on it for you, but I'm also getting a lot of my old claims out too, because you gotta remember, I still have my life too. But yeah, everybody I told I'm doing something, I'm still working on it for you. Credit is in the building. That's right. But yeah, I'm getting all that stuff done for you. I'm gonna try to have it out by tomorrow. But what I really wanted to talk about tonight, I have a beautiful view of my old hometown, and I want to talk about, like, basically how you can set up your claims. Okay, when you're stating something and you're talking to a so-called debtor, AG Uno, how you doing? When you're talking to a so-called creditor, you have to keep in mind that they're not obligated to follow the law. And let me tell you why. And people say, oh, they're obligated to follow the law. You got to follow consumer law. You got to follow. No, they don't. Because what does Article 1, Section 10 say in the Constitution? It says that no law shall impede an agreement or a contract. So now that you understand that, that's why I learned this from dealing with a so-called creditor, right? So that's why I try to spread my experience to y'all, so y'all not out here flailing your arms left and right. Because these people will have you doing it. You bringing up consumer law, and it's the actual agreement that's holding you to it. So if you read the agreement, it's going to have a tab on your agreement. It says that this agreement, the first thing that came to my mind, a contracts agreement, yeah, we don't read. It's the truth. It's the truth. I'm not telling you no lies. In there, it says that your agreement must comply with federal and state law. Okay? That's why when you're doing a debt validation, you always ask for your agreement. Give me my agreement. Because if my agreement doesn't comply with federal and state law, I could bring a claim in either state court or federal court against my agreement. It says it right there. So when you're trying to do stuff like get stuff off your credit, I would say take time. Don't rush to get stuff off your credit, but start asking them for accounting. Ask them for total accounting of your credit. And when you ask them for the total accounting of your credit, they're going to send you some big ass packets, because they know they have to do it by law. And if not, you can report them under the Patriot Act, because under the Patriot Act, they have to what? Give up all your information. You know what I'm saying? So you have a right to fight against what they call money laundering schemes. Well, what's the biggest fucking money laundering scheme? A fucking credit card. Okay? How you gonna give me credit on a line of credit that I lent to my damn self? You know what I'm saying? That's some scam ass shit. So, to be honest, the key to all of this is sending a letter to being patient, because they will respond in a manner that is kind of disrespectful. Do not get emotional, okay? With none of this shit, don't get emotional. It's just fucking pieces of paper. When the debt collector's not saying what you want them to say, who gives a fuck? Okay? If I say I want all the accounting on my account, and they don't send it, I'm going to court. And then I'm going to make them send it. So I'm claiming all the way from 2008 on this account. Then once I'm done with this account, I'll move on to the next account. So what I'm going to do with my consultations, I'm going to limit it in October. So October will probably be my last month doing 2-hour consultations. I might go back to 1 hour just for people who really need shit in a dire need. The reason why most people don't get stuff done is confidence in yourself. You always have to believe in yourself. I don't want people to believe in me more than they believe in themselves. So if you're dealing with these so-called obligors, because they're really the obligor, that's why they must make payment on behalf of you. What I was also talking about is I'm going to be updating all of my videos. So when I first made them, I made them to kind of like to get them out, because people kept asking me, when you gonna make a video about this? When you gonna make a video about that? So I try to address every situation, and then I go back and I watch it. I'm like, okay, well, I'm kind of giving vague, specifications, but not really getting into it. Well, it's because I'm trying to do everything for everybody, because dealing with a mortgage is like dealing with a car loan. There's no difference. Dealing with a credit card is like dealing with a car loan. It's no difference. So it's just different elements that you have to challenge and go after. Your credit cards, if your creditor closes down your credit card, right, you can sue them and make them reopen it, because the contract never was legal. So you can say, hey, you either open this account, or I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sue you, and I'm going to get all the money I paid into this account. So you got to make, what they have is, what all creditors or so-called credit card companies do is a risk evaluation. So if it's going to cost them more to litigate, the 911 was, oh yeah. The Patriot Act was, but it also was theirs too. 911 was a way for transparency, so-called transparency. It was an insurance fraud. That's what all of this stuff is. The rioting, all of that shit is insurance fraud. It's a fact. I mean, you could go into any city. They're always rioting downtown in the areas. And when you go to most downtown areas, some of them landlords been holding that. Some of those landlord properties have been holding those landlords have been holding those properties for years. So how do you get out of a bad deal or a mortgage that's bad? You wreck the building. So then when you wreck the building, now you can get a payout, an insurance payout. So yeah, you're correct. You're 100. It's the implement of forfeit of privacy. Also was an insurance scam. It was one of the biggest insurance scams on the planet. 9/11. Let's see. One thing I learned recently with so-called car loans is that the dealership, actually the third party, through the agreement, we agree that that they are our creditors. No. The dealership is the broker. So they're the third party. You're correct. But we don't agree that they're the creditors. What they do is they take bearer paper and make a sign onto it. This acts as a power of attorney. So then you've transferred your rights. So you hear all these people talking about the straw man and all that stuff. And really, it's not a straw man. The account is a straw man account, meaning that anybody can occupy any position. That's why they can transfer your property. So yeah, they don't trick you into thinking they're the creditor. They tell you they're not, because they transfer it without recourse. You can't be a creditor and transfer your ability to collect without recourse. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just we don't know the difference. Yeah, so when you're signing these agreements, they're acting as power of attorney. So even if you hear scammers say something, and scammers will say, "Thank you, appreciate it." You hear scammers say stuff like "fools," right? Fools is a person's information. So it's their date of birth, their social security number, their address. All that's fools, right? So what this is information that they're able to trade and use on your behalf, because you gave them power of attorney by signing an agreement that does not benefit you and you did not limit. So I hope that makes sense. Whenever you sign bearer paper, whoever receives that paper can do whatever the hell they want with that paper. So if you got some questions while I'm on here, I'm gonna go ahead and knock out some of these questions. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm 100%. I've done hella research, and that's the research I came to. It's all bearer paper. When you sign on to an agreement, it's considered a gift. So if I give you a gift, you can't complain to who I give the gift to. You see what I'm saying? So if you complain to who I give the gift to, I can say, fuck it, you gave it to me free and clear. And that's what they doing. So that's why I'm making a claim and I'm coming back. Yes, it does. Great question. Does restrictive endorsement matter on bearer paper? If you remember, for some of you ladies, you might think that when I talk about child support, I'm talking about, oh, I'm the man. No. I believe that a man and a woman should be able to work their differences out. Okay? And I have a video and I'm talking about restricting bare paper, because the agreement or the order that you sign for child support is bare paper. So the only way you can do is ask for the original order and restrict it. If they don't have the original order, then you challenge your signature on the order. You see what I'm saying? So like if somebody says they have the original, you say, well, give me the original. Because by law, I have a right to claim the original. Even under the Uniform Commercial Code, it'll tell you that. By law, you have a right to make a claim to the instrument and the proceeds therein. All this shit is accounting. It's accounting. I done broke it all down. It ain't taxes. It ain't none of that shit. Taxes is accounting. A tax is just a charge. So if somebody makes an allegation that you owe them a certain amount of money, what that allegation is doing is they're charging you through the allegation, through prima facie evidence under UCC 1-307. Anybody got some other questions? Did I answer your bare paper question right? You can restrict it and you can do an attachment to that bare paper at any time because it's your shit. Remember, they're your trustees. That's what people have to understand. Stop looking at these motherfuckers like they mythical beasts in the woods or some damn cyclops or some shit you can't slay with a damn piece of paper. You just make sure when you're reading your agreements, you're not just making allegations. Okay? You use the agreement in order to make your allegation, and then you attach the agreement to any allegation that you're stating. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So when you're sending documentations, you're using the documentation to state a claim. Now, if you want to notarize it, in my opinion, that might be the best because it verifies your identity. There we go. Yeah, it makes sense, right? So all the affidavit is the fact that the notary verifies that you're alive. And as I said numerous times, it's illegal for somebody to they removed your comment? Well, it definitely wasn't me. Okay, can you re-comment so then you can ask that, so I can answer that question while I'm on here? But yeah, when all the notary does is verifies your identity. So, like the lender doesn't have the ability to verify your identity. So if you send in an affidavit of truth, which everybody, like, they never specify what it means. So if you send an affidavit to them, that means your identification has been verified. That's all it is. So it's not that the affidavit is greater than anything else. No, it's just verified. It's 100% illegal for somebody to manage a live person's estate if they're competent in their affairs. Any questions? Anybody going through something? I'll do a few questions. I'll stay on here probably 5 minutes. It's a beautiful night, man. I'm in Wisconsin. I'm at my home in Racine. Oh, what should we do to bare paper instead of a gift? Well, you're not going to be able to operate in the devil's system without pledging something. So I got you next. Hold on. I got 2 questions up and I'm going to answer one. You're not going to be able to participate in the devil's system until you pledge something. That's how the devil works. Okay? Meaning that's the evil, the system. Okay? What you want to do is request the original document and then do an attachment. Or if it's like an installment contract, then you want to do an attachment or an endorsement or an allonge or an assignment the moment you do the agreement. Does that make sense? Okay, can you still get a bill from the Department of Justice paid? And if so, how would I locate the trustee? I don't get into all that trustee shit. To get it directed to my TDA account, I don't get in all that shit. I mean, when you're talking about getting a bill from the Department of Justice, what are you speaking on? Like, are you trying to make a claim to amount of monies? Let me know, God in the Flesh 81. Let me know what you're saying, because I don't understand the context. So a bill from the Department of Justice paid. I don't know. So let's see. Fuck how you simplify it makes it. Yeah, that's what it is. Because when you look at your notes, if you ever own a mortgage, go look at your note, and after you signed it, the bank never signs the shit, but they'll do adjustable rate rider or they'll do an allonge to it. So like if you get into debt You can do an allonge and transfer it to your trust. You can do an allonge and transfer debt to whoever the fuck you want to, as long as the contract don't restrict it. But if the contract restricts you, you can go back and renegotiate the agreement. That's why the UCC tells you under 2-202, I think it's 3-202 or something like that. I don't remember. Okay, yes, trying to claim what they say I owe, basically to get a discharge. Well, why don't you make a counterclaim against it? Yeah, just make a claim against it. If somebody, okay, here's another thing I was gonna drop for y'all, man. If a motherfucker say you owe $100, then why don't you say you owe me $100? There you go. So if you have arrears for child support, etc., you never made a claim to all of the money you paid into child support to overturn the arrears, because everything is accounting. That's how simple it is. Capital One suing me through a law firm, and I reached out to the law firm requesting to speak with the person with first-hand knowledge. Why? You wasting your time. Ask the law firm for a debt validation. Ask them to validate the debt and to send a sworn affidavit validating the debt. And if they don't, then you're going to ask them to cease and desist all collection activities. Otherwise, they may become liable and may be subject to legal action between you and your legal team. Yeah, don't ask the attorney firm. The attorney firm ain't going to do shit. They're just going to drag that shit out. Yeah, they going to just drag that shit out. And then by the time you know, you in litigation. But yeah, if somebody say you owe $100, right? Just, you have to understand debt is nothing but accounting. Got you. What is one of the best way? Just what I just told you. When I publish this, go back to it. It don't matter what law you do a debt validation to. If you say I owe you $100, man, you better show me a contract. You better show me a contract directly with you, not with Capital One. Because yes, Capital One in the contract has a right to transfer, but they don't have a right to make me liable. You see what I'm saying? So I want a debt validation between you and your firm, because I see Winter Circle's video that says that all agents, all what was the video I did? Shit, I forgot the damn video. Go to my video where I'm talking about debt collectors are attorneys are debt collectors. Go to that video and it'll give you everything you need. It'll give you everything you need. Yeah, debt validation, it doesn't matter if you do state or federal law. It just matters that you do it. How you think I got all that shit on my shit? Those 3 packages. That's a debt validation. Well, you can do a cross complaint. You can do a cross complaint against the Department of Justice. Yeah, you can do a cross complaint. Yeah. So if somebody gives you a bill, you have a right to make a claim to the instrument and the proceeds therein. So if you say I owe you $40,000, I have a right to say you owe me $40,000. And then we go in front of the judge and see who decides who owes who. So if you don't have a signed contract, I don't have a signed contract, then the judge has nothing to do but offset. It's just like blackjack. It becomes a push because both sides don't have a signed agreement that says one side owes the other and the other side doesn't either. So it's a push. I hope that makes sense to you. Everything is accounting. Even the people in your life fall to accounting. If a motherfucker take from you and they not giving you, set off and offset are kinda, you just want to look up the legal definition, but an offset and a set off, they're not much different. It's just like saying cross complaint and counterclaim. A cross complaint and a counterclaim are different, but innately they're not. So usually when you're doing a set off of an obligation, you're looking to settle the obligation and set off any outstanding obligation. And if you're doing a offset, you're looking to offset any obligation. So it's really the same shit, just a different way of saying it. Anybody else got something before I hop off here? Bueller? No, I'm just playing. Okay. Well, I'm going to try to do these lives from time to time and answer people's questions. I can't always answer your DMs. I can't always look at your documents and all this other stuff, man. I am one person. Dog. I got to enjoy my life just like y'all do, fam. So I thank everybody for hopping on this live. And hopefully we can do some more of them. I do a few of them. But thank you. Y'all have a good night. Be safe, man.